Kelly. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we are going to be doing my reading wrap-up for 2024, and by doing that I'm going to do the end of the year book tag. So I did do a mid-year book tag in like June over the summer, and I thought why not end the year off with the end of the year book tag, kind of see if books change or any get added to the questions, all that. I got all the questions from Larry Reads on YouTube, which she got the questions from Destiny from 2023, but she changed some of the questions on the tag or added her own. So I'm using her version of the tag. So I will list the questions down below in her video if you want to check it out. Okay, so I'm just gonna start the tag off with my reading goal and just like some data, just some statistics, because I love that type of thing. And I'm using Fable for my data because I really like how they have it laid out. So my reading goal for 2024 was to read 50 books. Currently I am at 59. I'm in the middle of one. Hopefully I finish it before the end of the year, so I hit 60, which is awesome that I went 10 books over my goal. Now let's get into some of the genres I read the most in 2024. The most genre I read was romance books. I read a total of 36 romance books. Tied for second is fantasy and young adult with 26 books. And then third would be thrillers with 11 books, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think thrillers would be that many. My average rating for books is a 3.8 star. Most books I rate were like 4 stars, then 3 stars. I did not find a lot of 5 stars apparently this year. And then my most read author was Emily Henry with 5 books. So go Emily Henry. Now we're gonna get into the tag. I just wanted to share some of my reading stats of the year because I'm like a math nerd or a number nerd. I love that kind of stuff, so someone else might really enjoy that kind of statistics for the year, but how to start with that. But let's go ahead and get into the tag. I'm gonna be referencing my little reading journal. I did this for the mid-year check-in or mid-year book tag. This is my reading journal. I made it myself, kind of. It's literally just a tiny notebook that I decorated and put all my book information into. It was really fun throughout the year. As the year came to a close, I have not been updating it as much, but I used to be really good at it and now I'm not. So I'm moving to a like already pre-made reading journal type deal for next year, which is probably going to be a lot easier, but also I'll miss kind of like this creative side of making my own little reading journal, which I'll probably do again in the future. I really enjoyed it. But I'm going to be referencing this for the books to answer the questions. For the first question, it is the most disappointing book of the year, and I'm going to have to say Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I was really disappointed because I was hearing all these really good things about the book, and like everyone's saying it was like a 5-star, 6-star book, and then I just felt like it was a repetition of their relationship cycle in the first book. Like it just was like a cycle, right? And I know people have said if you continue it gets better, so maybe in 2025 I'll continue. I do want to try the Daisy Hates books because I heard that's pretty good as well, so I don't know, I might give it a second chance. I just did not like it at all. It was just, for me, I don't like that drama, toxic relationship type things, I found out. So that was really disappointing because I know a lot of people like that series. So maybe 2025 I'll try it again or try Daisy Hates. We'll see. The next one is what was an underdog book, and I was trying to figure out what would be a good answer for this because like underdog is like maybe like underappreciated or like not as popular, but like I thought was really good and I think everyone should read, was A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. This book changed my life. When I first read it or was like first getting into it, I didn't think I was like, it was just another book to read, but like I'm constantly thinking about this book and like how much it means to me and how much like people need to read this. So if you haven't, you need to go read this. It's so good. It's so good. It like literally made me tear up. So good. What was an overhyped book you read? I think an overhyped book that I read that I actually did not enjoy, and I said this in my mid-year check-in, was The Cruel Prince, which, again, this is another book that I feel like I need to maybe reread or continue the series to see if I like it. I didn't understand the hype. It was slow. It was boring. I think it's like a slow burn. Maybe that's why. But I'm also okay with slow burn. Maybe slow burn is my thing. But I told myself I wasn't going to continue this series. But maybe 2025 I will. Who knows? But that was an overhyped book. I know a lot of people talk about how great this series is. And I was like, let me try it. And then I didn't really like it. So that was pretty overhyped. A book that surprised me. I have 3 books that surprised me for different reasons, and the first one is Ace of Spades by Farida Abaike something. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce. I picked up this book at Books A Million, not going into it blind. Someone said it was kind of like Six of Crows, which it was not, but this surprised me because of how well written it was. And like the things that happened and the twists and turns in this book, crazy. Highly recommend this book. This definitely surprised me because it definitely was not what I was expecting in a like young adult like thriller type book. Definitely a read if you have not read. The next one was Book Lovers. This was like a surprising book that I thought I wouldn't really like it for an Emily Henry book, but I absolutely loved this. I remember reading it and was like shocked that a lot of people don't talk about Book Lovers as much as they should. I absolutely loved it. I ate it up. I loved Charlie and Nora. They are literally like up there with like January and Gus. Like I love them. And I love this story. Like, why are we not talking about Book Lovers as much? Like, what happened? That surprised me because like I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, and I fell in love with them. And then the last book that surprised me was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This was my first Abby Jimenez book, and it just surprised me because I didn't know what I was getting into. Like, I know she was posting a lot of little funny memes about like, oh, you think you're reading a cute little romance book, but then it's like gonna like tear your heart out. It literally did. I was so surprised of this book. It just like grabbed my heart and tore it out, but also like made me so happy that I read it. So it made me want to read a lot more Abby Jimenez. And then me finding out that she like lives in Minnesota. She's a local author and she's amazing, and I just want to support everything this woman puts out. So this is definitely a surprise for me, and I'm super excited to read more Abby Jimenez next year. Your favorite book couple or couples of the year? Well, definitely, because we were just talking about Abby Jimenez, Justin and Emma. Love them. Love them. Love them. How Could I Compete with Kai and Peyton from Powerless. The book is not on the shelf. I moved it to a different shelf where all my pretty books are. How could we? How could we? I love Kai and Peyton. I love them. Recently, I read Powerless by Elsie Silver. Jasper and Sloane are probably one of my favorite couples I've read this year. With Willa and Cade from Heartless. Those two, just like the Chestnut Springs couples are so good, but I think I'm gonna say Sloane and Jasper are a little bit higher than Willa and Cade. So sorry, but love them. Yeah, they're also one of my favorites that I just recently read. Your favorite main characters of the year? Main characters, let's see. Well, of course I gotta go with my girl Peyton. I love her. She's such a badass from Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I wish I was as cool as her. She just... love her. I would say from a recent read would be Ophelia from Phantasma. I kind of also enjoy her vibe and like her personality. I think she is also kind of got that like badassery to her, so I love love that for her. And yeah, I think those probably are my faves that I can think of. Like, I'm like flipping through the books I've read and I'm like, meh, meh. But like, those are like the girls that I like, are like, heck yeah. Ada from Swift and Saddled, loved her too. She's very Black Cat energy, and I just kind of loved her little vibe in the book, Swift and Saddled too. So, new favorite author you discovered this year. Okay, I'd say Kaylee Smith. I loved Phantasma. I can't wait to read more by her as soon as it comes out. I would say Lauren Roberts. I can't believe that literally this year is the year I read Powerless and Powerful and Reckless. New author. Excited to see Fearless next year, or read Fearless. She's definitely an author that I discovered. And I guess Abby Jimenez, because this was the first year I read Abby Jimenez, and I can't wait to read these two books that are on my shelf next year. So for an author that didn't work out for me this year, I would say maybe Holly Black and Jessa Hastings. They're pretty well-known authors, but again, maybe next year I'll try to get back into some of their books. But for me this year, they didn't do it for me. The happiest book I've read this year, I would say any little romance book, to be honest. Like anything from the Chestnut Springs, Heartless, Powerless. I have Powerless up here. But there's always, you know, a little bit of drama in it that makes you a little sad, or like tears come. But like the happiest, maybe Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Any of the Emily Henry books, just like the fun romance books that are funny story, I feel like is like a fun, happy book. Hopefully that covers it. I feel like I said I like cutesy romance books. What was the saddest book you read this year? Not the saddest book I've read this year, huh? Oh, I got it. Powerful by Lauren Roberts. I was on vacation when I read that, and I bawled my eyes out on a beach. Like, it should be like fun and all that, but I was literally sobbing on the beach, and I just remember that book tore my heart out. The most frustrating book you read this year. I guess one that I was like, man, I don't get it, was Twilight. That popped up in my head right away. It was Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Frustrating just because I don't understand how it was popular when it was popular, but maybe I just like had to be there in that moment reading it, because I just didn't understand it. That was frustrating, because I was like, how was this a hyped book in like, what, 2010? Around that time? I just don't understand. Maybe I have to watch the movies, that's the thing. Best book adaptation of the year. Now, do not ask me, because I'm not a TV show movie girly. Like, I have no idea what is a movie and what's not a movie, or what's a TV show. Don't know anything. I know I started watching Shadow and Bone, which has been out on Netflix for a while. I watched the first season, loved it. Have not watched season 2. So, but I love that. Any new book adaptations? Probably have not seen. I can't think off the top of my head. Wicked. Didn't read it, but Wicked. But that's from the play, not the book. I'm getting confused. Yeah, I don't know anything else. All I know is, like, The Housemaid is getting picked up. Emily Henry's books are getting picked up. I'm super excited for that. I don't know anything else about adaptations, so don't ask me. Favorite covers of the year? Definitely Powerless. Like, the whole trilogy. The covers are so pretty. I would also say Carrie Maniscalco's Throne of the Fallen. Barnes & Noble edition. Beautiful. Haven't read it, but also Throne of Secrets. Like, her covers are so pretty. Oh, I don't have it by me, but Dungeons and Drama. Love the cover. I think it's so cute. I just read that book and finished it. I'm so excited for the next book. I think those covers are really cute. I liked Plot Twist by Erin LaRosa. I thought this cover was really cute. It's literally so simple, but I was like so drawn to this book just because of the cover. A book you haven't stopped thinking about? Well, obviously all I think about is Powerless, both Powerlesses by Lauren Roberts and Elsie Silver. Love. Another book I like constantly think about is Just for the Summer, just because I remember reading it and just like I just remember reading it. Like a lot of books I don't remember reading. Literally I'm like, when did I read that? But Just for the Summer I remember reading it and just like it was pure summer vibes. Darling Venom. Don't get me started. Loved Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. That's a book I kind of like slips in my mind here and there. For an unpopular book I absolutely loved The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I thought the twists in that book were crazy. Like my jaw was on the floor. I had to tell Austin the whole plot of the book. I thought it was crazy. I loved it. A lot of people I've seen recently, not their favorite Frida McFadden books, so makes me want to read other books by her to just kind of, you know, expand my variety of Frida McFadden books, but I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna skip the book you thought you'd love but didn't, because I kind of already said that for the most disappointing book. I thought I would really like Magnolia Parks, but I didn't. Same with Cruel Prince, thought I'd love it but didn't. Book with the most unique concept you read this year. Of course, I'm gonna go back to Ace of Spades. Crazy concept. Thriller, mystery, YA, like, going into it blind was probably the best decision I did because it was kind of like Pretty Little Liars-esque. Dungeons and Drama, I think there needs to be cute little romances about D&D because why not? Loved that concept. I think, like, we need more, or I need more cute little D&D romance books like that. Lights Out by Navessa Allen. Crazy concept. Crazy concept. I mean, I get it's a dark romance. Crazy concept. Loved it. Want more. Which I'm pretty sure she's writing another book, or another book's coming out. And I have no idea what the concept is, but I need more. A book you read this year that you would reread again. I would say any of the Emily Henry books I feel like are very rereadable. Is that a word? Very rereadable. I feel like I would reread Powerless in a heartbeat. I can't talk. Love that. Definitely Chestnut Springs, just for like a cutesy little romance. Darling Venom, I'd definitely reread. Book you wish you got to this year. A book that I wish I got to this year would probably be ACOTAR, because I kept telling myself I would read it, but I have not read it. Maybe My Dark Romeo, because after I read Darling Venom, I really wanted to read that. So probably those two books. Goodreads, reading goal reflection, and a goal for 2025. So I kind of told you my goal. My goal for this year was 50 books, and now I'm at 59, almost 60. And I think that's a pretty good goal for myself, considering that I've recently got back into reading the past few years, and I've been finding books I really, really enjoy and finding what I like and what interests me, and it's a good hobby to have besides video games or being on my phone and scrolling mindlessly through social media. So it's definitely like a healthier hobby, or a good hobby to have. And I definitely for 2025 would love to raise my goal up, but not too much. I was thinking like 75, but I think that might be too much, so I might just raise it up to like 60 or 65, so it is reasonable and attainable for myself. So hopefully maybe 60, 65 for my goal, we'll see. And then what will you prioritize in your 2025 reading year? I am going to prioritize reading these books on my TBR, my physical TBR, before buying any other books. I kind of went on a huge like shopping spree, which you might have seen my book haul. So I definitely need to read a lot of these books before I purchase more. So I'm gonna go on like a little book buying ban, unless I find really good books, but like really need to just stop and read some of the books on my library. I also want to only keep the books that I know I might reread again or that I really enjoy, which I don't have a problem with that. of like getting rid of books. I also want to prioritize reading the really popular books that everyone has read, like ACOTAR for one. Finishing series. I really need to finish series. I always start new series and I never finish. So 2025 is going to be the year of me finishing series, okay? Like the Chestnut Springs or the Fine Print, or like what is this series called? Or literally any of these series, I gotta finish them. I need to finish them. Finishing series, reading popular books that everyone's read, ACOTAR, and reading a lot more of these books on my shelf because I'm looking and I'm like, I haven't read that, so I need to read more on my shelves instead of going and buying or reading on, like reading library books. Just read these. So those were all the questions for the end of the year tag. I just want to briefly talk about my favorite books of each month quickly in this video. For January, I put Powerless by Lauren Roberts. For February, I put Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. For March, I put People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Here we go. For April, I put Happy Place by Emily Henry. For May, I put Beach Read by Emily Henry. For June, I put Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. For July, I put both Reckless and Powerful by Lauren Roberts. For August, I put both Funny Story and Book Lovers. For September, I put On Principle by Bonnie Callahan. That was an ARC or advanced reader copy, but it's now out, so totally go read it. For October was Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. For November was Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I, again, got an advanced reader copy. So I can't wait for that to come out next year. Or I guess, yeah, in 2025. And for December, I put Powerless by Elsie Silver. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed me yapping about all the books that I've read throughout the year of 2024, talking about my faves, my not so faves, all of that. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also make sure you subscribe. I post videos once a week, whether it's book content like this or vlogs or hauls or shopping videos or music or anything really I feel like I want to post. Is kind of what I post, so you should subscribe. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye!